Hello there guys, welcome back to the e-bike repairs YouTube channel. My name's Dash and I take apart and fix very exciting and fun stuff like electric bike, batteries, motors, scooter parts, all that fun stuff. What I've got in today is this, it's a Hyundai YHBAT60LI25. So lithium ion battery, that number again, 58 volt, 2.5 amp hour. So I'm assuming it is 16S1P to get your 60 volts or something like that, I guess. So thinking there are 16 18650 cells in here. Basically, this is out of my electric lawnmower and it doesn't work. Popped it on charge, only charges up to 3 bars. You go to use it and just immediately turns off. So July 2019 is when the chap who originally bought it put the sticker on it. It is now, what are we? March? I think we're March 2020-24. Therefore, we may have some dead cells. One group of dead cells out of balance, something like that. So let's open it, see if it's fixable. If I can resell it, then maybe I'll do that. Might put some moly cells in it just to be obtuse. So we've got in here 1, 2, 3, 4. How well can you see in there? There you go. Phillips head screws. So I'm going to undo those. Oh look, they look a little bit like that, little things. Okay. 2, 3, 4 of those. Put them right there so I can use them. And then it's just going to come apart. Oh, look at that. It does just come apart. Oh, look at that. Okay, that went over here on the little button here, the indicator light. This is our other side of our shell. We've got a bit of mesh, sort of haphazardly glued on. Nice, flexible case. There are some numbers here that tell you probably the type of plastic is PA6, so PA6 plus GF15 plus /TPE, so that'll be what it is. Got our rubber over moulding on it. And then the battery pack itself. So we've got positive pin, negative pin, and ID. So there should hopefully be a chip of some sort floating around in it. Ooh, look at this. It's exciting. There's the other side of the case. Anyone who's very interested. Over there. Right. What I've got then is, just having a little look. There's a big fuse there. So I'm assuming if the fuse was blown, you could sort that out nice and easily. I'm guessing we've got some out of balance cells. Oh, if it is 60 volts, that could give me quite the shock, actually, come to think of it. I probably shouldn't be touching that willy-nilly. So, cell-wise, we've got, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? That can't be right. How many cells have we got? B minus, B13. But 13S. Ah, look, B plus, so 14. 14S then. Is that right? Yeah. No, that'd be 52 volt. Interesting. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So we've got our B plus to our, where's B minus gone? It's hiding. It's run away. I saw it. There you go, there. B minus to B plus. DC volts. 52.93 volts. So we've probably, that's definitely not fully charged, is it? So if I go B minus to B1, 4 volts, B1 to B2, 4 volts, B2 to B3, 4 volts, B3 to B4, dead. Dead as a dodo. Yeah, alright, B4 to B5, 4 volts, B5 to B6, 4 volts, B6 to B7, 4 volts, B7 to B. Where's B8 gone? I see B9. I see B11. Where's B8 gone? There. It's a confusing place for that to be. 4 volts, B8 to B9, 3.1 volts, no, bad connection, 4 volts, B9 to B10, 4 volts, B10 to B11, where's B11? Some nonsense location, over here, there you go, B11 to B12, 12 volts, oh no, B12's up here, sorry, B11 to B12, 4 volts, B12 to B13, 4 volts, and B13 to B plus, 3.9 volts. So we've got a dead group of a dead cell. Actually, it's just one cell, which was what was that? B3 to B4. Yeah, B3 to B4. Look, dead, dead as a dodo, and that is. Where do you come from? That one there to that one there. Yeah, so it's this cell in here. That one, unfortunately not the easiest to get to. Realistically, I'm not going to cut out just one, am I? I'm going to replace the lot. So, we've got a temp sensor underneath here. Some balance wires where it's all backwards connected to itself. And then the cells are LGDBHE41865, and then lots of other numbers. 134 at the end. On the board I see temp sensor, chip, voltage regulator, or whatever you call that thing, voltage transducer, something or other, fuse, balance points. It looks perfectly well made, very little corrosion. There's a couple of tiny bits there, but it's nothing. Balance resistors here, which I wonder if one of them's gone bad and just dragged it down. It was my own fault, really. I did leave it on the charger since last winter. Nickel looks nice. A little bit of corrosion there again, but nothing major. And nothing major under there. Power minus, power plus, common. What common goes to? This trace up here goes to a via, and I can't see where that goes, so yeah, all good fun. Anyway, what I'll do then, I will order 14 new cells, I believe it is then. Let me just have another quick count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because there's one in there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, 14 cells. I might spring for some nice molly cells or something like that. See what I can do. This is built in a slightly complicated and ridiculous fashion, so I'll probably have to desolder all these tabs and take it apart and build it back together in an annoying way, but be interesting. Hopefully makes for a good video, so I will join back when I do that, or maybe it'll be a new video, who knows. Okay, right, no idea where I left it because I'm professional like that, but I have now got my new cells. So these are my Molicel P28As, so it should be a bit of an increase, a bit of a bump in capacity. So it was originally a 2.5 amp hour, I believe. Should say somewhere. There you go, 2.5 amp hour, and now it will be 2.8 amp hour. So 2,800 milliamp hours per cell, 25 amp discharge. Because they're only in 1P, you need high rated discharge cells. So I've got 14 of them, 5, 5 and 4. Put my insulating rings on them already, as you can see there. So what I need to do is maybe do a bit of thinking about how this all went together, because I'm going to have to desolder the whole circuit board off the top, which would then involve removing these little wires as well, and then trying to remember where they all were originally. So the video might be, excuse me, well, might be a little bit discombobulated because I might have to refer back to the video I've just filmed to get this still of where these cells used to be. Who knows? We'll see anyway, won't we? We'll see, we'll find out. I'm going to desolder all the tabs and remove all of that. I don't know if I can use my solder sucker. or not, but I'm going to find out. Just waiting for this big soldering iron to heat up. It's the big 100-watt silver line, so that's the, you know, that one internet shop that delivers stuff the very next day. Special. However, it's big, got a lot of heat capacity, and it, you know, it works. So hopefully, we'll just desolder these nice and easily. Yeah, look at that. Even without adding extra solder, that's nice and easy. I wonder if my solder sucker will work. Let's see. Oh, help if I didn't miss. It does something. Oh, look, I'm pushing out a blob of solder every time. Yeah, look, it does work. That's handy. I'm going to use this, and I was going to use solder wick, but this is even easier. Be careful where I touch, because obviously this board's going to be live with a reasonable amount of voltage. .50 volts is enough to give me a shock, which I don't really want. Is that one loose? It's either loose or very close to loose. Let's say it's loose. Can't really tell. Let's just go with that it is. Working wonders that is, isn't it? Excellent stuff. Oh no. Me solder sucker's full of melty solder. Might be awful close to needing emptying this. I think I probably want to be a little mindful of how long I dump 100-watt soldering iron worth of heat into this board. It can probably handle it, but on the off chance that it can't, I don't really want the board to get super crispy. I know this will be ruining the cells, all this unnecessary heat I'm pumping into the buggers, but I don't care because the cells are going anyway. I need to empty this. It could be quite full. Shall we find out? It's not that full. Why don't we move up and down, Will? What's binding us up? Ah! Is this screw loose? Turned into a video on how to sort out your solder sucker now, hasn't it? As all good videos do. I think this screw might have just been a bit loose and then it was... Oh! That was my hand. That might have been why. Might be a bit better now. Let's give that a go. Oh, my poor finger, look at that. I've jabbed my screwdriver right into it. Not very sensible. Oh, the pain I'm in. The horrible non-AdSense friendly words I want to say. Oh, look at that. Ow. Injury warding and all that. Right. Let's try this again. That's probably close to loose anyway. It's entirely possible this is a little more solder than this poor little thing was ever designed for. Oh no, he's bound up. Probably because it keeps getting full of these big solder nuggets like that. It probably isn't very good for it. Oh, please don't make me have to use desoldering braid, because it's proper sketchy doing it on a board like this that's obviously full of battery voltage. We're nearly there anyway, we'll see what happens. I've crisped the board. I shouldn't have done that. Oops. Well, it's happened now, and I've rinsed my poor solder sucker. Oh no. It's not gone well, has it? What I think's happening is the build-up is all occurring on the pad here. It is. So there's a plug of solder sitting there on the rubber plunger. Or something like that. Shall we see what's inside one of these then? Delicious. I mean, you'd have thought it just came apart, wouldn't you? But I guess it doesn't. Well, that's a problem for another time, I think. I'm going to put that over there. And I guess I'll have to use my awful solder wick. It's going to get really hot really fast and probably short out this bloody battery. Ugh, horrible experience. I hate it. Not doing it. Right, probably remove this. because this is bad for business. Anyway, right, we've got 2 screws holding this board down to the cell holders. One here, and one here. Have you fixed yourself yet? It's fixed itself. Fantastic. Right, well, I know what I'm doing. Put that screw back in there. Let's finish crisping up this board, shall we? See, this is through-hole soldering, right? Not quite enough. Oh well. Nearly managed it, didn't we? I feel like using a 100-watt soldering iron on this is a little overkill, but you know, here we are. Let's remove those, and then this one here. This wire has not taken well to the heat that this very small soldering iron is putting out. Right, so I'm assuming then that I can just remove this entire side of the PCB. I think it's stuck on this one that's not completely desoldered though. However, as Jack Sparrow says, leverage. Right, you loose now. Got that one's loose. Then we could work on the other side. See what is or isn't loose. Oh, all of it, great. Okay, what I've got to pry on under here. Pry directly on a nickel strip. Yeah, that's a good idea. You look to be quite close to being loose there. And so do you. And we're just working on this middle lot now. There's obviously a limit to how much I can afford to wiggle this board before I snap it, but I'm being quite gentle. What feels attached? Well, you're not attached. Neither are you. You are in the centre. You're attached. holding you on there? I think there's a blob of solder on there. And this thing. It's not desoldered very well at all. Perhaps it is time to add some flux to the situation. What about now? Are you loose now? What's holding you on? And you feel like you're missing something, but you're not sure what. Must be this central tab is still soldered, surely. So we know those two outer ones aren't. And freedom! Freedom. Freedom! Okay. We do have our temperature sensor, which you should definitely not be leaving dangling like this. Don't snap the wires. Don't snap the wires. How am I going to dig you out of there safely? Oh, just like that. Lovely, and there's our little temp sensor just there. Ta-da! Okay, so board is free. Easy to see which way around it went because it can only fit this way because there are 3 tabs here and 4 tabs on that side, so it went that way, which I shouldn't be able to forget. And now, all I've got to do is replicate this bugger using its original cell holders, of course. So these are our little insulating doodads. Put them on there. Right, so we've got our one like that, one like that, one like that. This one, this one, this one, this one, and then this should split somehow. Perhaps these are 2 bits of nickel each. God, why did I ever agree to do this? Who could say? Well, I shall replicate this. I'm going to take pictures of this all now, how this went. I'm going to replicate it, and I will film stuff. Oh look, there's some screws in there, that's what holds it together. Look at that. There's one. There's 2. 2 of them. And now, oh yeah, look, she's loose. She's loose. She's loose. So this must be joining all the tabs together. So these probably need desoldering completely to separate slot. There we go. That's one. This will be two. Oh no! My blob of solder has fallen in and still stuck the bloody thing together. It's in there. Just try and separate this. There we go. And then our black one. Come off and separate, go, and just like that. Ta-da! We've done it. So the way that it's built is like that. Ah, very interesting. Well, the more you know. And then these tabs are all soldered together. Oh, you saw nothing, I dropped nothing. So all of this just rumour. It's fine. Okay, right, I'm going to get cracking with taking this apart, taking pictures of it, etc. Then I will work off those pictures and solder some tabs on. Hopefully it's all good and it all works. So I will cut back as and when. Right, I'm just going to remove the old nickel strips from where they used to live. Just be careful that I don't short everything out. I'm not really bothered about leaving the cells clean of nickel because they're not, you know, I'm not going to reuse them. They're old. Clearly if one's failed, how long before the rest of them do? Sort of thing. Oh, hello. Right, we are disassembling it all by ourselves and we didn't even mean to do that yet. It's not what I wanted to do. Stop it. Right, now, what I'll do to make sure I put the new cells in exactly the same way, when I pop this end cap off, I'm then going to replicate with my brand new cells exactly where they were. For example, this one here's got the negative facing up, so that one down there, and I'm going to put the negative exactly where it was. And I shall continue doing that. So the next one along in that bottom row is also showing a negative at that end. So it's the opposite of what I see here. Then this one here is showing a positive, so that's going to go like that. And the next one up on that side is going to go like that. Then the next one up here in this central part here is showing us a negative, so we're going to put negative in there. And then we've got one more in this area which goes slap bang in the middle, and that shows us a positive, so we want a positive to be showing there, so that when I get all my cells together it then looks the same, if that makes sense. So you've got your negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, like that. And now I can pull the nickel off these. You know, I might not even need to. Oh, would you look at that? I don't even need to. Fantastic. Fantastic. I can just leave these with the tabs on. It's less work. These are just a touch melted to the plastic because of where I've had the hot soldering iron on them, because I'm an idiot. I mean, how else am I meant to desolder them without soldering iron? And then this then will fit back on there. Wait, that way around? My brain hurts. I don't think it was that way around. I suspect it may have been this way round. Would make a bit more sense, because then the the little slots facing up. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I will check though, in case for some reason I'm horrendously wrong. But the slot has to be facing up at some point, doesn't it? Because otherwise the board wouldn't have screwed onto it like that. Right? I'll check. If it's wrong, when I've checked back through the pictures and all that, I'll put it right, but yeah, anyway. And then I'm going to do the same to this side. So exactly the same process where I pull them off. These, though, we'll just pull straight over. So that's easy, isn't it? We like that. Very good. Look, they'll just sneak over there. Haha! Look at that, lovely. And then I can replicate this. So this is showing as a negative, so I'm going to make it show as a negative. Showing me a negative means it's going to show a negative. I see a positive, so I'm going to see a positive when it's flipped up the other way. And then this one here is going to be a positive. This one here is going to be a negative. This one here is going to be a negative. This one here is going to be a positive. And that one there is also going to be a positive. So, when I turn this up that way, it should all look the same. So I see, yep, like that. Negative, 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 positive, positive, neg, neg, pos, 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 neg, neg. Then it makes sense. So yeah, this side with the screw was facing up, and these flat tabs were on the bottom. It's got to go like that. Okay. This flat bit's on the bottom. Not the flat bottom. Old cells. Two more, and then the last two. 1 and 2. Just like that. So this flat bit was on the bottom, flat bottom. There you go. Should be very much like that then. Feels about right to me. And then these should mesh nicely, one hopes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Seems right to me. It doesn't sit quite flush just there. Don't know why, but oh, there it goes. It does sit flush. That will be how it's going to be reassembled. Ooh, very exciting. Lovely. And then the board will sit on it one of the ways around that it was. I'll have to check that because memory of a sieve and all that. Oh, this now it's cooled down. Seems to be doing a perfectly good job of being a solder sucker again, so I might not have even broken it that much. Should be nice, because I do have to get rid of the delicious through-hole nonsense on here as well. I've unplugged it. It's not going to do me any good for now anyway, so. Okay, so this is my current state of things. I've got my two halves partially done. These are going to go together like that. So there's one end, there's the other end, and there's the centre portion. They're going to join together. I've just got to sort out these. I had to cut down my standard nickel strip width-wise because it wasn't quite wide enough, and then here I've just used slotted nickel. I've cut up a piece of nickel ladder basically so it would fit, and we are getting there. Some of this part here where it didn't fit isn't very pretty, unfortunately. I should have notched this this ladder out. I thought it was going to fit, and then it didn't fit, and I'd already spot welded it on. So, oh well. I'm leaving these intentionally really long because I don't know exactly what length they need to be, and I can trim them down a little bit later on. I've just got to do this centre section then. I think this bottom section all gets folded over and soldered together anyway. I've just got to do this centre section, and we should be nearing completion, which is very exciting. I haven't filmed any of the spot welding because I'm filming on a phone, and then on said phone is the photos I've taken of the bloody thing, so I can't, you know, film and look at the photos at the same time because I'm a diabolical human being, so oh well. Okay, right, we are just about, I think actually we are done with the nickel strip, so it's all looking a little bit shifty at the moment, but that's going to go together like that, and I haven't lined them up very well. That was silly. Oh no, they're not that far off at all actually. I thought if instead of spot welding these two together like they're doing, I'll just solder them at the same time as I'm soldering the main board on top. It makes a bit more sense, I think. So that should be sort of done. And I'm just going to need to put the screws back in. So I had one suspiciously long one and one normal one, didn't I? So this one went in. What side did the head go? It won't really make the slightest bit of difference what side the head goes, does it? Ooh! I'm dropping things. That's got to go into here. Like that-ish. Where's my screwdriver gone? There it is. Gonna do this probably on the bench. Make my life easier. Right. I'm doing it by hand then. There's one, and the second. Just needs to go down into place. There we go. And then there's two. Okay. Two screws in, seated. And there's our pack with our molly cells in it. I didn't bother lining them up because you're not going to see it. It won't matter. No product placement here. Right. So I'm going to try and wiggle this thing back on without shorting everything out, which will be interesting, I'm sure. Oh, not sorted out my through holes. It's because my soldering iron is on. I suppose I should probably turn it back on, shouldn't I? Or I should drop it. I should drop it. It's been one of those days. This thing is, yeah, it's one of those. Every time I plug it in, I'm a little bit amazed it doesn't just go bang, to be honest, but, you know, here we are. Here we are. Right, so, I'd imagine I can probably get these three in just fine. Then it will be those. These will be a bit more of a struggle because they'll want to separate. And then these four. The holes, I think, are all nice and clear. I desoldered it. Bit of charring to that top level of the board where I put the fluxes burned off, but nothing of great import, I don't think. And this one, unfortunately, I got this one a little bit hot. But we're just going to pretend that it's all fine. That's what we're going to do. What I have done is a very stupid decision, I'm sure. I'm going to spot weld these strips together, which I did with this one. Just straight through. It will be a massive spark. It won't be good, but it will work. The power might be just the teeniest touch too high. for what I need it for. Let's wind that way down. Christ. That's more like it. Instead of blowing holes in the bloody thing. That will hold them together then while I'm trying to spot all these things up, because otherwise, where these are separated and trying to splay apart, I would have really struggled. Oh, I've blown a hole right through that bit. Not my finest moment. But it's functionally, it's done what I wanted it to do for the moment. Then these ones I can cut down as well. I wonder if I should do the same thing to these. Should I do the same thing to these? Probably not. Don't think it was a good idea. Maybe I'll do it anyway. You know what? No, I won't do it anyway because I won't be able to fold them over. Oh yes, I will. Never mind. I'll do it anyway. It's not easy to... That wasn't so bad, was it? I think once I get the knack of that. The problem is when I'm trying to keep my skull out of shot, I'm doing it almost at arm's length and I can't see it very well. Really, I need it sort of a foot away from my head. So they've been spot welded. They'll get soldered in a second anyway. But then, now I can trim these up. Don't think they need to be quite that long. God, I'm shaky, aren't I? That's one, and then I should be able to bend it over. That's two, and then bend it over. And then should be able to do three, and bend it over. As I say, they'll get soldered in a second anyway. Probably trim up these, but how do I do that without shorting everything out? Good question, Dash. Good question. I think I'm going to do it afterwards because, yeah, I'll just think I am. So this should theoretically all be okay now. It's just a case of slotting this back through there, which is going to be interesting. So I'll start at this end. Get all these lined up. Oh wait. Nearly forgot him, didn't I? This sheet of sticky goodness went on here. Or the other one did. Might have been the other one. Either way, same thing. That one might have gone on that end, who knows. Might make the slightest bit of difference what end it's on. As long as it's on. I'll fall off in a sec anyway, isn't it? Right, so. 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry, do you not fit? Ugh. This piece of nickel is too wide. That's upsetting. See how well that fits. If it even fits. What? Ugh. I think it's just too wide. Okay, well, I'm going to go around and I'm going to trim these bits down, otherwise this would be awful. Okay, they should be trimmed now. It doesn't matter too much, the thickness of these actually. It's all ugly and horrible now, but oh well. Because these are like balance wires basically, and the negative and positive here are the only ones that are really going to carry any current anyway, which luckily I didn't have to trim down, because these centre 5 have larger width slots than these. So that should be all good. Right, let's start putting this in and hope it doesn't go bang. Do it at an angle like that, then I can see it better and fold the rest in and on. Oh, there's 3. Okay, some of it's worked. Right, how am I going to do this? It's not easy, is it? Bloody hell. Line all this up. So how am I going to do that and also these? Well, we're beginning to get some through. And we'll pull them straight off. See, these are meant to be stepped. They go in and up, but I've not stepped them yet because I wasn't quite sure how far to. And I thought, oh, well, I'll put this on. It's just all going to line up, isn't it? Well, I might do this bit off camera. It doesn't look very fun to watch. I have done it. I'm a genius. Beyond all measure. I have done it. They're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was awful. Awful. I would not wish that upon myself ever again. However, pursuit of science and all that. Right, so what I need to do now is get these soldered in. So there are 2 little screws, first of all, that hold this board down, which means it won't all pop off and take all my bloody tabs back out, because that would make me very, very unhappy. I would say all sorts of non-advertiser friendly things. And then YouTube would ban me forever, and no one would ever see me make these riveting videos ever again. Which, you know, could be bad, depending on your view of things. So, that goes on there. That goes on there, just like that. Now, this doesn't look like it's sat entirely straight, to be honest. I'm thinking that a bit of squishing may be in order. These tabs will probably have to be, I have to hold this down, pull the tab up to just sort of seat everything properly, because it's not quite where it was to begin with, to be honest. I don't know what's going on. So what I was thinking was, if I push down on the tab and push down on the board and pull up on the tab, I'll pull it through as far as it can go. These ones are fine. I've done that with that one there. It's sticking out a lot more now and it's sat nice and flush, so is that one. These ones aren't a problem because they're going straight up. And these ones, I'm scared of all the little bits of this I've got lying around on the desk. Probably should do something about that, but you know, professional. I'm a trained idiot and all that. Right, there we go. Okay, so do I cut these then solder them, or solder them then cut them? Solder them then cut them. That's what we do. Don't know how I'm going to cut them yet, but without, you know, shorting out the thing that's right bloody next to it. But I'll get to that. I will get to that. Sticker solder. So I'll run a reel, that's close enough. Right, so. That's not pretty. Might have to go back and touch these up at the edges. Or just wiggle the iron a little. Wiggle the iron. Spin it around and do the other side more easily then. That's good to me. All that solder is falling straight down that hole onto the cell, so I'm going to stop with that one. It's not staying up there where I want it to. Same with that one. Right, that is quite horrible. What I'll do, though, is pretend I didn't see it and continue. Don't know if that worked. I can't see far enough. I'm blind. It did work. Good. Didn't? How rude. There we go. That should be getting awful close to done. No idea how I'm going to trim these up. No idea at all. Wants cleaning up because this soldering iron might have been a little bit too warm. I mean, it's not exactly great, is it? But I have also seen worse, so there's that. Right, I've also got to solder this side then. This bit underneath. Okay, so we've got 3 bits of wire here, Don't remember where they go or which colour went. Well, I mean, obviously I know where they go, but don't remember what colour went to what. I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? It probably does. I'll check and I'll redo it. Okay, we are nearly done. I've got the other... No one saw that. I've got these two wires soldered on. I've just got this one to do now, the last one. I'm quite aware this soldering iron is a little overkill. However, it's the one that's hot already. So that's what we're going with. Right, I'm so confident I'm going to unplug the soldering iron. Right, this just needs to be popped into its little poche. Just a little pocket. My tweezers have decided to bend. What's happened? I've lost one of the screws here, so they're unfortunately not doing too well. However, that'll do. Right, okay. I do have to chop these down, but thinks it's got to charge. Yay. Will it charge? I'm just going to see if this fits on the charger and charges. So we're just going to check that. It does indeed charge. The charger blinks away happily. This should be, you know, effectively resold. I'm going to have to do a couple little bits like just tidy up some of this horribleness I managed to create. Oh, wait, no. Look, I can fix it. I'm going to put the temp sensor on as well. I can fix it. There you go. It's cured. And it's perfect. See? No one will ever know. I've got to pop this temp sensor in here. Probably reuse its little bit of tape and all if it sticks. Does it stick? It doesn't really stick, does it? Let's be honest. No. No sticktivity left. But I've got new tape. Questionable origin. I don't care what anyone says, that is making direct contact with the cell. Honest. You just can't see it because it's the internet. Right. Now I have the unenviable task of cutting these excess bits down. I've still got no idea how I'm going to do this without, you know, just shorting it out to the next one, but here we are. Crikey. Move my drink, otherwise one of these is going to end up in it, isn't it? That wasn't so bad. Note to self, cut them to the right bloody length first. Because these still might be too tall. If they are, it's not going to be a fun job to fix it. Oh, it's ugly, isn't it? It's horrible. Oh well, looks good from my house. That's going to short out. There's no way I could do that safely. We've just got these three in the middle here that I don't really know how to do. Maybe a bit of tape. Tape solves everything, right? I've lost my tape, but I've got this stuff, so that'll do. Guessing I can do that, right? Now that's not touching it. It's probably not poking out. I'll find out if it is. There's one. There's this one. There's that one. Wow, that one's stuck in the ceiling. Amazing. Look, I'm going to reach up here, empty hand, right? With lots of force. Right. Okay. What I might do to make it look very professional is just put these lovely pieces of tape over these, and then no one will ever know. I've decided that given quite how much of a pain in the posterior this was, especially it's so hard to use solder wick to get rid of this, because it will then short out to the next series of batteries. I'm not going to ever do this ever again. Didn't like doing it. Didn't really want to do it, but my mower was dead and the new battery was 150 quid, 160 quid, something like that by the time it's shipped. So I have done it, more out of necessity than anything else. And then I shall use a bit of this. Just hold. I don't think my scissors are very sharp if they can't cut a bit of tape. Just to hold this in place like that. 1 and 2. And then do the same again. Can't even cut a bit of tape because I keep using the 4 nickel strip. But what it is. Right, that's on there. Now, how did it go? How did it go? How did it go? It's been a little while since I took it apart, therefore I can't remember how it went back together. Let's do a bit of investigating, shall we? Right, discharge side. So that's fine, I can work that one out. Must go the other way up. Must go that way up. Tuck these in there. Why don't you fit? Why don't you fit? You do fit, just a tight fit. And then this one must go that side, and I've also got this piece. So you have to go like this. Is that right? No, you go into here. Yeah, it's like that. You must slide behind here, like that. Now, does the lid fit? Come on, you're gonna fit, right? It's gonna fit. It doesn't feel like that's very in on that side. It's because it's not. Hold on. It's probably one of those bloody things poking out. We'll try it and see. Slot this up in there. Push that into there. It still doesn't look like it fits, does it? Because that side's in and this side is almost certainly not. But we'll see. you know, it actually might fit. Let's have a look. I can always take the screws back out if I don't like it. Make sure they're up reasonably tight. Well, that's not bad, is it? Huh. There you go. Look at that. And now we can take off this July 2019 sticker. He says, with utter confidence. There you go. Lovely. I will hopefully, if the weather dries up, it's raining a lot at the moment, be able to add in to the end of this, or maybe a different video, I don't know, no one wants to see me mow the lawn, a video of it in action, working, so yay! If you like this kind of thing, please feel free to like the video, share the video, leave a comment on the video and tell me I'm an idiot and that my ceramic rings are going to get my fingers exploded, that my, you know, well, whatever you fancy really. You could even tell me you really liked it and it was helpful and your battery had a similar problem, and it, you know, it might help you just know what's inside things like that. You can, what else? Subscribe to the channel if I haven't said that already, or even become a channel member. I've got 3 channel members at the minute, which is nice, very kind of these people, where they pay 99 cents a month and I get a shockingly small quantity of that. It does inspire me to keep making these kind of videos for you guys. You know, people seem to like it, so I'll keep doing it. Thanks very much for watching, and bye-bye. Okay, so we're not going to get a full proper ending to this, but it did fully charge. I checked the output and it was correct at about 58 volts. And yeah, should be all good to go. So you can resell one of these. Is it worth the effort? Does it look pretty inside? No.